Heshabela, and southwestern regions. Jubaland and Puntland states had not yet submitted the names of their representatives to the Electoral Commission. The two regions have opposed the electoral body appointed by the federal government and demanded the withdrawal of government forces from southwestern Gedo region. Parliamentary elections that were scheduled for 1st of December have been delayed. And Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed will start a 2-day visit to neighboring Kenya later today, his first foreign trip since he announced the completion of a military operation in the northern Tigray region. He will be received by his host President Uhuru Kenyatta in Muyale, a border town in northeastern Kenya. The two leaders are due to inaugurate and inspect infrastructure projects. The two countries enjoy warm relations and their leaders have met several times before, but this meeting happens at a significant time. An internal conflict between Ethiopia's federal government and the renegade administration of Tigray State has dominated news headlines across the world since early November. Hundreds have been killed and thousands displaced in the fighting. Meanwhile, clashes between communities residing at the common border with Kenya are not unusual. A few weeks ago, at least 10 Kenyans were arrested and taken into Ethiopia as the soldiers battled OLF Shan group in western Ethiopia. The perennial conflicts in the area will be among issues to be discussed. And 17 primary and secondary schools in Mozambique have been ordered to close for non-compliance with COVID-19 guidelines. The National Inspectorate of Economic Activity spokesperson Thomas Timber said the schools had failed in cleanliness, lacked thermometers, and students were not learning in shifts as required. Some 216 commercial establishments were also inspected and 17 of them found to be non-compliant. Some restaurants and bars were found to have more than the required number of customers. Some opened outside the recommended time and others lacked a hygiene. The inspectorate will continue with the health spot checks, especially during the December holidays, to ensure compliance with measures aimed at preventing the spread of coronavirus. And the United States Supreme Court has rejected a challenge against President-elect Joe Biden's victory in Pennsylvania. Republicans in the state wanted to overturn certification of the results, but justices rejected the request in a one-sentence ruling. It is a blow to President Donald Trump, who has previously suggested without evidence that the election result would be settled in the Supreme Court. Trump lost his bid for re-election last month. Since then, he and his supporters have launched dozens of lawsuits questioning the vote results. None have come close to overturning Biden's victory. And Indonesia has held nationwide regional elections on Wednesday with more than 100 million voters eligible to cast a ballot, despite warnings the poll would worsen the nation's COVID-19 crisis. The archipelago of nearly 270 million, the world's third biggest democracy and fourth most populous nation, declared the vote originally set for September as it struggled to contain soaring infection rates. From the capital, Jakarta, to the holiday island of Bali, polling station staff in full protective gear enforced social distancing and took voters' temperature before polls closed at 1 p.m. Abdurrahman Wahab, 24, admitted he was nervous about turning up to vote in Sulawesi Island. Islamist parties are looking to score big gains in the world's biggest Muslim majority nation as they ride a tide to rising religious conservatism. In the second biggest city, workers followed the tradition of donning superhero costumes, dressing as Spider-Man to lure voters in. Others were tasked with taking ballot boxes into hospitals so that COVID patients could vote from their sick beds. And German Chancellor Angela Merkel said on Wednesday she still saw a chance for a Brexit deal with Britain, but warned that the bloc would reject unacceptable terms. Speaking ahead of crunch talks between British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and European Union Chief Ursula von der Leyen, Merkel expressed cautious optimism about a trade agreement. Merkel told the Bundestag, lower house of parliament, that the bloc must maintain its red lines. She said the process of moving from a harmonized legal system between Britain and the EU to a time after Brexit when the systems grow more and more apart required a level playing field for tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. French investigators were Wednesday seeking to ascertain the cause of the crash of a mountain rescue helicopter in the Alps that left 5 dead, with only the pilot surviving but badly wounded. The helicopter, an Airbus EC-135 operated by a private firm, crashed Tuesday evening around the town of Bonvillard, just outside Albertville, one of the main resorts in the French Alps. The top local official from the Savoie region, Pascal Bolot, said the 5 passengers and pilot on board, only the pilot had survived but was badly wounded. Despite difficult weather conditions with fog at the crash site, 1,800 meters above sea level, he was evacuated to hospital. Bolot said it was the pilot himself who raised the alarm. He added that an investigation has been opened by the prosecutor for Albertville, but did not offer an explanation over how the crash happened. French Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin is also due at the scene later Wednesday. And that's KFM News around the world, but before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. Somalia to begin training Electoral Commission team. Supreme Court rejects bid to overturn Pennsylvania results. And Indonesia holds nationwide poll despite COVID-19 warnings. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at www.kufm.net or download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We are also on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on RadioGarden.com. KUFM's News Around the World was produced by Nosakai Uwadiai. I am Omoyo Ogbaide saying thanks for listening. Good afternoon.